I'm also going to share my screen because I am super extra as a server owner, and I do a PowerPoint to give you guys one something to follow along with, but also it keeps me on track. I mean, you guys aren't just sitting here wondering what the hell's going on. So, thank you guys so much for being at this community meeting. Um, if you guys have comments and things to say during the meeting, please either do it in the discussion channel that's up in the meetings section, or you could do it in the hanging out little text chat that's in this. Try not to flood chit chat and try to stay muted because when people unmute, it makes it go a lot slower. Um, yeah, this is our first post launch community powwow. So we have a lot to cover. We're going to go over the financial breakdown, and I totally didn't update any of that now, and that bothers me. Um, we're going to go over some rule updates and some reiterations of some rules, things that we just really want to make sure that we touch base on. Um, we're going to talk about wanting some new staff members to come and join our ranks. We're going to talk about some whitelisted jobs. We're going to remind you guys about some state lore as well as some current uh, storylines that are going on that everyone will know about either because they've been in county or I say county in state or they've been involved in it directly or it's been printed in like the newspaper or whatever. We're also going to talk about Tracky server and the CFX forums and how you guys can support us that way. We're also don't you do that? Stop it. We're also going to talk about current bugs and known issues because I know there's a few emphasis on quote few. Um, there's also going to be some conversation about script updates and content pushes. I'm going to talk about some soon to be purchased scripts. We're going to do a community vote about a couple of things. And that's when you guys will get the opportunity to unmute and talk and discuss. And then you guys will go back to being muted because CT has something that he wants to showcase. And then after that, we will go into the Q&A where you guys can ask questions about things that are um, in the meeting itself. You guys can post your questions in the discussions channel as well, and CT will help me, and other staff members will also help me keep track of those questions. So then that way we can answer everything timely. So our financial breakdown. I ended up just completely wiping our financial breakdown because I hadn't kept up with it in a while. It got very difficult for me to keep up with. So as of February, this is what we paid in and this is what was paid out. Um, there is a link in the Discord where it says finances in that channel where you guys can see this being updated in real time. I promise I will be better at keeping up with it because I'm probably going to delegate some of that to CT to help keep up with the finance stuff. But we had a couple of donations that came to the server, which again, thank you guys so much that do donate. Those of you that sub to the Patreon, thank you so much for doing that. It helps us pay for the server rent, so I don't have to worry about that. But it also helps us get the really cool things that you guys are seeing, like Armadillo Reborn and Tumbleweed Reborn and the Rathskeller script and stuff like that. So, thank you guys so much for that support and for doing that. So technically, we are negative $4 instead of the negative like 2,000 and something we were in. So yay, that's how debt goes away, right? So, yeah. Rule updates. So one of the big rule updates that we had was businesses. If you have a character with a whitelisted job, you may now own a business on that character depending on the business proposal and the whitelisted job. So as of right now, we have it to where LEOs and doctors cannot own a business, but can work for another business. This is where things get kind of screwy because, like, I'm going to use Whisper for example. She's technically a doctor, but she owns Rathskeller. But she's a doctor in the sense that she's a veterinarian, and that's always been the RP. So, because of that, she is like one of those few exceptions that's within the doctor thing where her doctor role would make sense for her to own a business outside of that. Walker, one of CT's characters who's his Undertaker, is also technically a doctor, but all he does is autopsies and mortuary science, which again would make sense that he'd be able to own a business. Um, I know, I believe Riven at one point is talking about like running a school, and um, very much like the newspaper, it would be considered like a service to the state. So while it would be technically an owned business, it's not going to fall into the same rules. So Riven would be able to do something like that. Um, the approved positions that can own a business and also be whitelisted are political positions. So governors, mayors, what else? Chief justices. Well, that's part of judicial positions, but political positions, commissioners, that was the other word I was looking for. Since these jobs are typically jobs that are only necessary whenever like there's like big government stuff happening, we want to allow those people to be able to have a business if they want it. Same thing with real estate and property managers. Once houses are put up on the market, real estate really doesn't do much except for meeting people to discuss businesses and taxes. So if they want to own a business, they'd be able to. And then, of course, judicial, again, chief justices, state justices, clerks, lawyers, all those people, same thing. They'd be able to own a business. If we see that this is a problem or that these positions are, these characters are making a lot more money than others and the economy starts getting a little weird again, we'll readjust this rule. But for now, this is what we did. So we are looking to maybe bring on about two staff members, maybe three, depending. Um, I'm wanting to hopefully bring on someone that might know a little bit about dev work or at least know how to read code, so they can help both me and Buchanan kind of get stuff going, because there's a lot that needs to be done and I can't tackle it all, as much as I would like to. Um, but I also need people that are wanting to be part of like the welcoming committee, so the people that welcome you in when you first come into the states, and kind of guide you throughout the Discord and all of that. I also want to try and get at least one more person that can do support and just general ticket answers and management. Um, the big thing that we expect from our staff is that people know you in the community. If people don't know you, they're not going to talk to you. So, um, whenever that's the case, we like no one's going to talk to you or reach out to you. So people have to know you. You need to be around in both the Discord and in the server. People need to be able to recognize you. Um, you also have to have a willingness to work for the community. Anyone that's ever done community moderation or management knows that it is a thankless job. It's very stressful sometimes, and you don't get paid for it. So you have to be willing to see the community be successful. And then, of course, the desire to be helpful. A lot of times I will get people that submit applications and they're like, well, I want to help the server, but then there's no follow through with helping the server, because they might not realize just how much I actually hold my staff members to expectations. Um, I don't ask a lot from my staff. I used to say I do, but I have come to the realization that I really don't, because I suck at delegation sometimes. Um, so I want people to be helpful, but they have to actually want to be helpful. So if you guys are interested in being staff, please fill out a staff application. Me and CT will look it over and we'll talk about it, and then we'll do a staff interview, with you if we feel like it's a good fit. If you're not a good fit this go around, that's not to say that you won't be later. It's just we're very selective with who we bring on as staff, because I don't need to have 15 people be staff members and 14 out of the 15 not be present. So, whitelisted jobs hiring. We are looking for law enforcement, medical, and government. This has been brought up canonically in the server with Faith. Um, she has posted a notice board post about law enforcement and medical, getting a hiring bonus if they stick with the job, and complete their training. If you are interested in law enforcement, meet up with either Faith or Riven, because right now Riven's the only other LEO. And Faith is going to kind of be deferring to Riven a little bit on getting people signed up. Um, and there's a lot of RP coming in with like Riven developing Fort Mercer into being like the like training area and all of that. For medical, meet up with Dr. Oliver Sullivan, or Sutherland. excuse me. And he will, go through your application process. There is also the applications in the Discord that you would need to fill out, which we can talk to you in character about. Um, if you're interested in a government position, such as a judge or maybe going for mayor or something like that, um, fill out an application for that as well. But then create a ticket for government, so we could talk about that because since the government is being newly developed for the states, Faith is needing people that want to step up, and then eventually a lot of these positions are going to be electoral based, and mostly just picked by the community during election times. So, some state lore reminders and some current storylines. So, first and foremost, if you are in this meeting and you have not read the state lore channel, first, shame on you. Second, read it. It has so much information in it. It explains what we're trying to do here in this community and in the server. And it is crucial that you know this because we're not moving at the pace that you specifically want to move at. This is the pace we are moving. We just finished Armadillo. Armadillo has been cleaned, it has been rebuilt, and business is going to start thriving there. Um, we are now going to be moving into the Strawberry area and also into Blackwater once the tensions between the Wasake tribe and the caravan have dissipated, if they ever dissipate. So, with that said, um, if you are going into Coulter or if you are going up into like the Amberino area where the waterfalls are and it's super beautiful, or if you're going into Ansburg or even Van Horn, please understand that we are not going there yet. Um, there are some people who've been reporting back certain statuses of cities. Like we came back with Mike, and we talked about how Valentine looked actually pristine. It actually looked nicer than it did before the quake. And so Valentine isn't going to need a lot of repairs. It just needs business. Blackwater, same thing. Blackwater didn't look as damaged, but it looks like a lot of things have been abandoned. No one's reported the state of Strawberry yet. Van Horn has been stated in Saint Denis as this place where undesirable people are, like the crazies of Sisika all went to Van Horn. Tobias went up to Ansburg and said that it needs some repairs, but it looks like the mine kind of kept things going, and there were some mines that had closed down, but some have reopened. So there is lore happening and lore is being developed, but if you guys are going so far ahead of the caravan, you're going to be disappointed, and I am not going to stop the development of that core story just to make sure that you have this one little business in this one spot and stuff like that. So please keep with the pace of the server because it makes things a lot easier on both myself and it lets you not be as frustrated because I'm not going there yet. But we are establishing law. We had the big town hall meeting. We talked about some laws that are going to be brought in for state laws as well as the federal laws. And we had our first trial, um, which leads to the Wasake tribe and the caravan tensions and how that's going to be resolved given the person that was on trial and what they did. Um, Saint Denis has become a sovereign city. They are recognized as their own sovereign city with their own laws and rules. With Jack Shaw being the mayor, or I guess technically governor of Saint Denis. Um, so there is that story arc that is happening. And then, of course, this crazy supernatural curse that is terrifying everyone and causing all the spookies. Um, the lore that is happening right now is that there's a lot of people figuring out what's working, like these skull lanterns that Lignus has been making, the painted sands that Whisper has been putting around places, uh, the burning of the bodies, this ichor that's developing. Um, things are being uh, things are being developed, and it's really interesting. And I'm excited to see you guys picking out these storylines because what started as just a random like, oh, this is kind of cool, has blown up into this massive thing that I didn't expect. So um, it's very interesting. We will have a break from the supernatural stuff once that story arc has been tied off. So I don't want you guys thinking, oh my God, we're going to have these jump scares and these ambushes chronically. Um, it's actually going to be lessened over time. And then we'll have a good cooling off period. And then who knows what's going to happen. Um, the only other big storyline that got posted was the current state of Sisica. And CT wrote that up and posted it, or I posted it in the State Lore channel, as well as um, I'm trying to think of the other one that I didn't write down. Must have been a lie. Make sure you guys read it. If you guys read it, you'll be on track with what we had to say. And there was an announcement a few days ago that kind of talked about some of the new stuff going on with the lore too. So, voting on Tracky server. If you do this daily, you can do it every 24 hours. It is IP based, so if you and your partner or you and your friends all live in the same place, only one of you can vote per day. But it bumps us up and people see the server. A lot of servers pay for those boosts so people will see them. I don't pay for the boost because I'd rather get an accurate number of who is voting for us and who is supporting our server versus padding my numbers. Um, while we aren't all about the numbers and we're not all about how many people we could fit in the server, it is super exciting to see when we have big days. And it's super exciting to see people coming in and bringing all their friends in. So we want to keep bringing people in. Um, the other place that you guys can really make a difference is on CFX, which is, that big forum that has all sorts of stuff on it. I'll post a link for our little forum post in their server bazaar that you guys could comment and post like your screenshots and talk about the things that are going on in server that you're really excited about. Um, but you guys, whenever you do that, it brings people to us. Yeah, Joan literally brought all of her friends. Whisper kind of did the same thing. Like, you guys all brought your people, and it's been amazing to see just that support. Um, and I do want to thank you guys for bringing all your people, the people that, followed us over from another place. Um, it's really exciting to have you guys follow us in this journey too. I know it was a long wait, but I hope the wait has been at least worth it in some way. So, current bugs and known issues. Oh, howdy. There has been a lot. It was like as soon as we launched, every script either got updated or decided to break. Prior to launch, we did a lot of testing and everything was working perfectly. And then every developer decided to schedule all their updates all at the same time. So the hunting script and the legendary hunting script, which if you guys are skinning certain animals that are popping up during the spooky event, they're technically legendaries in some ways. So if you get a legendary pelt, you need or anything like that, you need to hold on to it, because I am updating the hunting script and the legendary hunting script. We're One of the big things I'm also updating is we are moving away from the butcher shop that we are doing. I don't like how it looks. It's really hard to navigate. Those of you guys that stockpile all this stuff in your inventories, it it can be very tedious to navigate. So we're going to be going to a different butcher script that most people are familiar with, where you take the body to the butcher, they give you some money, and they're going to give you some meat. And then you'll have your pelts and stuff that you will take to a fur trader or a pelt trader, and they will buy that off of you. Um, I liked the way this system had originally looked, but it is just too frustrating. And whenever I reached out to the developer to implement something that would maybe hide the stuff in the store that you don't have, so that way you'd be able to sell easier. He basically said, well, that's too much work. I'm not doing it. And that's his prerogative. I can't do it, so whatever. So that's something that we're fixing. Um, we will and I'll be making those changes kind of periodically. Right now, I just want to make sure I get the hunting script working. So you guys are actually getting the stuff from certain animals like turkeys and American badgers and stuff like that. Um, the invisible wolves, I haven't really heard anyone talking about them lately, and I think some of that was because it was part of that Sire VLC rescue missions, which has been causing a lot of issues because it's kind of buggy. Love Sire VLC stuff, but some of it just doesn't work as intended because it loads in too much at once. So I'm currently tweaking that to make it not as overwhelming on the server, which is why it's been turned off for now. So if you're still encountering invisible wolves or invisible like predators, like cougars and stuff, please let us know in tickets because I haven't heard anything since I've turned it off. Um, the potholes in Saint Denis. If you have not been in Saint Denis, there's a fun thing that's happening where if you are riding a horse or a wagon or a buggy down the tracks of the tram or the trolley, yeah, the trolley, you will possibly hit an invisible pothole and you either get launched off your horse collapses. It's so much fun. Cannot figure out what the problem is. I have reached out to about 15 different developers. They are not experiencing this. I have updated the interior scripts. I have gone through everything. I have enabled the trolley. I have disabled the trolley. Uh, and I can't fix it. So if you are in Saint Denis and you are riding around, avoid the trolley tracks for the time being. And then also watch the locals because they also are affected by it. So yeah, it's the Fae. Um, Weapons and player owned weapon stores. So we know about an issue where if you go to a player owned store, like let's say Bombshell Bells, and you buy a gun or a weapon, which lanterns, binoculars, fishing poles, all these types of things are considered weapons in Red M or in RDR2. Sometimes it'll go to your inventory, sometimes it doesn't, but regardless, it still takes your money. This is why I've been telling people that own weapon businesses like blacksmiths and gunsmiths, don't stock up your stores with weapons. You can stock it with ammo and you can stock it with like things like that. But other than that, craft the weapons as they're ordered, or if you want to make a stockpile of weapons to sell, or you want to sell the stuff that I gave you at the time of opening your business, put it in your business inventory, pull it out when people buy it. And then just do the transactions that way. I know it's frustrating that people just can't buy directly from your store. Trust me, it's very frustrating for me too. But that way, people aren't getting their money taken from them, but then also not getting their weapon. Um, Two people have now reported auto aim on horses, and basically it's like your camera like snaps to like the front of like your horse and not exactly where you're looking. Um, I tried to recreate it whenever Nelly first brought it up, and I could not recreate it, and I spent like a good hour trying. But then someone else had also brought up that they're also having that problem. So if you are experiencing that, please let me know. And I will take a look and see what we could do to possibly make it so that's not happening as infrequently. It does seem to happen randomly with horse training, but again, I did it for an hour and I couldn't recreate. So, but a lot of you guys have been doing a lot more horse training than me, so we'll see what happens. Card collection's not working. Again, this is one of those scripts that was tested vigorously and it was working and then it stopped working all of a sudden. So I'm checking to see what had broke on that. So working in there. Regular whiskey not being consumable. I just need to add it to the metabolism, but we're probably going to be replacing metabolism. So I'm not going to bother until that's done. So hold on to your whiskey. And then Whisper had brought up a problem where horses that she had were spawning in with like half health cores um, and things like that. I again couldn't recreate it. I went on all of my characters and couldn't get it to happen. Whisper says it's still happening. If you guys are also experiencing this where you call out your horse and it is half health core or almost dead, please let us know. Um, that way I could maybe take a look and see what's happening. I know it's very frustrating, some of these problems that have been happening with horses. Um, I'm not sure what is the problem. And it's very sporadic, and it's not on every horse breed, and it's not on every or any like specific breed. It's just all across the board, and it's happening to a few people. Um, and it also, as Whisper says, it is um, kind of random amounts of damage too. And then, of course, horse XP. We received a ticket saying that once you have a horse at 1,000 XP, which is the max, sometimes whenever you go back to review that horse later on, it might say that it has less than 1,000. Um, Again, I need more people reporting things like that. Just because if it's happening on only one person, then I could maybe narrow down why that's happening. But if it's happening across the board and no one's reporting it, um, then I'm kind of SOL. But it is very inconsistent. These problems with the horses, and whenever I reach out to the developer to ask kind of like what might be causing some of these things, I don't get a lot of response. So yeah, um, working on things as I can. So some script updates and content pushes. I'm adding new training grounds. I was doing that this morning at like 3 in the morning. So I did fix the one at McFarland's. So now it should be relatively easier. There is now a new training ground for the Wasake tribe for their horses. And there's also one at Rathskeller now for the horses up there at Painted Horse. Hanging Dog, Pronghorn, and Emerald Ranch are all going to get one as well. I do know at Rathskeller and at the Wasake, the blips, like the little white blips that you have to target, they're kind of floating in the air right now. I just need to drop the Z coordinate down, but they work. I tested them all; they all work. Um, so there's that. I will also be adding in horse and wagon missions. I was testing some of that out this morning. There's still a few kinks that need to be worked out, but all in all, we're going to be getting those in. Some examples of the wagon missions are doing like coal deliveries and log deliveries to lumber yards. Another one is like a stagecoach. You do have to own the wagon for each mission. So, what I will end up doing is making a list of quote suggested wagons for these businesses and these missions. If you end up wanting to do them, then you know exactly what wagon you need to have on you for that mission. Um, Something else I didn't put in here, but it's in the change log, and I was having so much fun doing it earlier. You can ask CT and John and Cletus. Was a paper delivery job in Saint Denis, where you can go up to the little newspaper thing, and you can pick up a stack of papers and run around and chuck, like literally throw, the newspaper where they need to go. And it's so much fun. I threw one at a police officer. It was great. Lots of lulls to be had. Um, right now, it's only in Saint Denis. I did talk to the developer and I was like, would we be able to add more locations? And um, he said as of right now it's only one, and I was like, I would love to see an extra like option to be able to add more locations because there are other places that have those little newspaper booths. Um, and he was like, I'll definitely work on it. So he's adding that in for us. Because I absolutely loved it. As soon as I put it in, I did that for like 30 minutes today because testing. So it was a lot of fun, and it pays okay. So it's not gonna be a get rich quick, but it does pay enough, and it is time gated, as Ligna said. So you can only deliver papers in the morning. So that's when you get the papers first thing in the morning, right? Um, so uh, it was a lot of fun. I love checking the papers. Um, we have someone who is interested in purchasing a mining business over in the New Austin area. Once that is completed, there will be an update to the mining script where certain mines in that spot are going to be job locked. So you will have to get hired on by this individual to work in those mines. All other mines will still be open to the public, but this would be considered a purchase business in private location. Trains. We are developing the growth of trains starting in Saint Denis. Um, So if you are interested in a train business or doing that kind of RP, let us know. Fill out a business ticket. Just know that it's going to be starting in St. Denis. Bounty hunting. Everyone loves bounty hunting. It's fun. It's dangerous. It's fun for the gunslinging people. Um, it is going to be locked behind a bounty hunting license as well as the LEO job and the Pinkerton job. So if you want to do bounty hunting, and this is a bounty hunting script where you'd be able to do bounty hunting with your friends, you would need to speak with Faith and or Jack Shaw in Saint Denis to get a bounty hunting license. So then that way you can do these things. Um, and then hunting updates. We're going to, and I'd already kind of mentioned it, we're going to be moving away from the butcher thing that we're currently doing. We're going to go back to old good Renem roots of how the butchers work. But we're also going to be adding in a pelt trader script, a a hide tanning script, so like you could take your pelts and tan it down to leather, so then you'd be able to like, sell that and trade that. And then we're also going to be getting or we have an extensive butcher script where you would literally have the cleaver, and if someone wanted to run a butcher shop, they'd be able to process the meats down further. So restaurants would be able to cook and things like that. Um, so there's that. And then one other big content push, of course, is the crafting, metabolism, um, doctors, all of that. That's getting set up. Ah, stop. Okay, so community voting. So there is a new script that was brought to us by a community member who wants to do kind of animal pet RP. And I know there are a few people who have actually brought up this topic. Originally, both CT, myself, and the staff, we were like, we're not really comfortable with people doing animal based RP because we felt like it could be very disruptive. A lot of people didn't do it in a realistic way, or we just saw it being very ridiculous, aka someone bringing in a panther in the middle of Saint Denis and all the locals getting spooked, or someone spawning in a giant white alligator in the middle of the Valentine Saloon. These are things that were very concerning for us. However, we do allow supernatural RP. And one of the things that we really wanted to approach with this script is that for certain characters, through a very rigorous whitelisting process, like what we have for the supernatural RP, once we open that up for everyone, do we want to allow people that are whitelisted approved for it to turn into only certain peds? We would be with this script, we'd be able to lock it down for the job, so it would basically be a job lock or a group lock. It would also be able to be restricted per ped, and it would allow for a different type of RP that could be very animalistic, but also spiritual and supernatural. Um, I know I have a character that would absolutely fit in with this. I know there's other people that have expressed an interest in this. We just know that it could be very, very poorly done, and that worries us because we don't want to see it be disruptive. Um, so, with that said, I want to give people the opportunity to talk about this. So, if you want to unmute, please do it in a kind of orderly fashion. Don't talk over one another. Don't interrupt each other. Let everyone have an opportunity to speak if they want to. Even a better way of this would be like if you want to post in the hanging out channel, put like a one or something in that, and we'll just go down the line, and that'll be who unmutes and stuff. Um, the other big thing that we would say is that if we see that this becomes a problem, it will immediately be turned off. Like we'll take it away. It's not a big deal. Um, but I do see where there could be some really enriching stories that come from this. But we also don't want to just have a server full of people not actually talking and doing voice RP. We want to have people actually doing people and voice RP too. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor and give myself the opportunity to stop talking for a little bit. Valerie, if you want to go ahead and unmute first, please feel free to talk. And then we'll move on to Whisper, then Roy, then Riven, and so on.
Hi. So there is a lot of pros and cons with the animal play. I came from 5M and I have played animal characters before and I can see all the pros, all the cons. But in general, it adds something to be interesting for a character that is human and also a character that is the animal that is being played. It adds like maybe even some companionship and like some adding on to each other's characters with these sort of things. So I can see where it could go wrong, but I could also see where it could go very well if it's handled properly. And I think it could be a great idea personally, but that might be just a biased opinion. But I just feel like it could add a lot to this community, especially with the supernatural roleplay that we have, and then also a whole different like geared type of roleplay when it comes to like that sort of subject. But that's all I gotta say.
Uh, I think it needs to be heavily restricted and whitelisted, like you said. There is a lot of bad that can come from this, a lot of immersion breaking. There is a lot of issues, period. I've also played on servers where that menu is active, and one, it's difficult to do, for one. Two, it can be incredibly disruptive, like you said. So I get that. I do also agree, though, that it has some of that character potential for my character as well as others. There's that whole thing there for that. But I also can just keep that to the past, and that's just a whole thing that can be done, or it can't be. Either way, I respect whatever you guys decide on that one, honestly. It has such heavy cons, but also such potential. It's really difficult to actually, I guess, find the proper even way to even implement it without it being a potential problem. You know? I know. That's just all I have to say.
Hello. Right, when it comes to animals, playing pets and all that stuff, my main concerns are three things: what, how, and why. What do you want to play? How do you intend to play this pet that you're requesting to play? And why are you looking to play an animal? I don't think it's a very valid reason, and personally, I feel this is why a lot of this stuff has a bad taste in people's mouths, from previous experiences. It's like just wanting to play the animal because it's fun is not good enough. You need to have more intention behind wanting to play that sort of character. Like, is this a character you intend to play as the pet of someone else? Do you plan to play this character in a supernatural sense? And if so, how does this assist you in telling whatever story you're trying to tell? Um, do you just want to be like this legendary hunt type animal out in the woods? And, by going this way, are you okay with permadeathing the character when someone finally kills you? Things like that. There needs to be thought and intention behind it, but I have a lot of faith in the judgment of the staff that we have here in this community, specifically the Weavers. I see you guys out here. I know you guys as role players. I feel like if anyone is going to be able to properly whitelist something like this and allow for more freedom of expression in role play than less, I think you guys have what it takes for it. So that's all I really got to say on that piece.
I Okay, go ahead.
Um,
I was with a group of people, and we had that experience with the horse, which I thought is why I like this idea, but it should be heavily, like, whitelisted and everything. But it adds a lot to characters. Like, I know Whisper, she mentioned seeing this horse out and about, and then all of a sudden it showed up and brought us somewhere important. So it should definitely be very heavily controlled, but definitely should be considered for characters such as those who have like connection to like spirits and everything, because it just adds a lot more depth to the characters.
He was typing.
It shouldn't be. We have faith in you, buddy.
In the meanwhile,
Hey.
okay. I was just gonna say, since I'm on my phone, I can't do the hand raising bit and the hanging out bubble chat. So I've got something to add on once everyone who raised their hands in a timely order goes.
Can you hear me now? Okay. So this is the most I've ever been in any of these Red M servers. I have no experience with it previous, so I can't say like, oh, I know this will do well or do better. I can't, but I can say I do think it's a very interesting idea as long as it is strictly moderated, as everyone has said. You have to have a reason, not just like, well, I'm a cowboy, so I think it'd be interesting to be a cow because I am a boy. Yeah, that obviously that's not a good enough reason. And if you start being really weird about it or being really disruptive, obviously taken away. But I think it's a really good tool for people that tell certain stories, or heck, even if we just keep it around for the next time the land gets cursed, maybe it's a more lighthearted curse of, oh god, suddenly everyone is coyotes. What do we do? So I think it's a good thing. Just don't let people run too wild with it.
Alrighty, coming as this from staff and probably one who's going to be. Sorry about that. I'm doing the interviews for those. I'm definitely going to be pushing, especially for the supernatural. Probably you're going to have to fill out both white lists, just because of how stringent we're going to be looking at the beds. Probably going to be looking at just as stringent, if not more, than the actual supernatural white lists. And it's like I personally don't have too much of a stake in this, although I have thought it being fun to bring in a werewolf like character for people to hunt. But yeah, it's we're probably going to be raking over the coals going through that damn interview. So and if we see you messing around, you will find out.
All right, so, gosh, this is my 5th state now, and I remember in several different states, it is varied with this particular kind of role play. The first one I was in, it was really only done in 2 capacities. One, we had the peyote, where you transform into the different animals, and I was telling my friends about how a bunch of us got shot up because somebody came over, found a bunch of animals, didn't know what's going on, and just went on a hunting spree. That was funny, but like that's not the same thing as this, because there was no story we were telling. We were just fucking around. But in that same server, there was also somebody who role played as a dog, they just kind of wandered from town to town. I was a deputy at the time, and the dog just like really took to following me around. So I was like, "This is my deputy now," and it brought in a whole really fun element to the role play. It was very lighthearted, and we needed that. And then I also know, like many people have mentioned, Whisper wanting to do what she's wanting to do, and honestly, if it were any other state, I'd probably be like, "This isn't a great idea." But I trust the way it can be managed here, and I also have a better feeling about this community even as it's growing. Because most of us have been very mindful of who we're inviting into this, and just the very goal of this server anyway kind of dictates a certain attitude towards story building. Nobody is going to get away with just, "I just want to be this because it's fun." Like, we know that nobody's gonna let that pass here, so why fuck around with that concern? Let's be more upfront about the fact that anybody who wants to roleplay as an animal on any level knows it does not make them immortal, and we all know that. I think that's just a big thing. Like, some people seem to be worried about it somehow, I don't know, giving them a leg up? How? How does being able to do that really give them any benefit? So, I'm okay with it. Personally, I don't see any issue with it, and I think it could be managed well, especially in the capacity of it being whitelisted the same way as the supernatural, or even in conjunction with that. Because I think it might even be a subclass of this supernatural. But if you just want to be someone's pet, because like I would do that. After my experience of having that deputy dog, yeah, I would totally do that. It's very fun, lighthearted thing. Doesn't have to be done all the time. And it's a great breakaway from, like, say you have a character in the midst of a big ass investigation of the supernatural. you know, Makes for a nice breakaway. So personally, I think it'd be fun.
Yay! And there's a few people who have kind of already touched on what I'm about to go over. And Joan, I feel like you said it very well. Everyone's made good points. Um, so when this whole thing kind of started, I agreed to be on the supernatural whitelist thing because I was going to really kind of crack down, and chances are, unless you give some very valid reasons, that I was going to give the nay-no on a supernatural character because, well, it could create a lot of problems and be disruptive and all that kind of thing. And I feel exactly the same way about the playing for animals. Um, Now, the other side of that coin, just like Joan said just now, is it can really provide a really enriching part of a character's story. And in the end, that's why anyone play outside of doing something a little different. Pardon me. That's why people ideally are looking to play animal characters, that they are looking to help push and enrich someone else's story. Now to go back on what John slash O'Dim said, it will be a rigorous interview. There'll be a whole voice interview for it and everything, just like your whitelist applications for many of you so long ago. Um, all in all, I enjoy this idea. I think it has more to offer than it does hurt, so long as it is maintained. Um, but yeah, if we decide to go forward with it, I'm looking forward to it. And that's all.
Oh yeah, I'm vehemently against this entire concept, and above all other reasons, which I could go into a laundry list, but the biggest one that I have is the fact that I foresee this becoming an issue where people are going to be metagaming. They're just going to turn into a random animal ped and be finding out things they really shouldn't be finding out, um, because conversations wouldn't be had if the actual person was present, and that really, really concerns me above anything else. Um, Aside from the fact that people could, you know, run around in places that they realistically wouldn't be and expect not to get shot, um, and other things like that. That is my biggest concern, and there is no way to properly monitor that. You can go through whatever interview process you want that we could possibly come up with. At the end of the day, unless we are literally watching everything you're doing while you are on that, there will be no way to monitor and prevent that. So it it, it is going to be very hard pressed for me to get on board with this from an owner's side, because we had staff that couldn't even properly do this right where we'd come from originally. And the more people that have access to it, the worse it will get. So that's just my thoughts on it.
Ultimately, and I think everyone has kind of brought up really good points, and a lot of us kind of circled around the same idea of, if done well, it can really be a unique experience. And if I am breaking up, I am sorry. Um, I'm looking to see if Discord will chill out for a second. Hold on. So, and again, it is also kind of one of those things where there is the selfish part of me that's like, I totally want to do this because it would fit my character Mosi. But like CT said, we have seen it. You know, we have seen it cause problems before. We've seen people who have been on animal pets who did like slash throws gang signs, and it's like, it's immersion breaking in some places. Um, we've also seen it done very successfully, where like the white horse that someone had gotten on to do that RP with you guys, or in another city or server where CT played a dog that was all covered in blood and everything, that was leading people on kind of like this like murder mystery kind of a thing, so they could discover that shack outside of Valentine that has like the chains and stuff, and it kind of added more stories. So we know that there is the RP potential there. And I love this idea of like like what Joan had mentioned about, the little deputy dog that's just coming around helping. I love this kind of stuff. If we were to do it, it would be another, like I said, another special whitelist case. Um, doesn't necessarily have to be supernatural based or even like part of the supernatural thing, but it would be added to. There would be a section added to the supernatural whitelist about it. Um, it would still require you to have been in the server or in the server actively for at least 60 days. So then that way we can at least be like, okay, well, they've shown in 60 days that they are committed to the story, they're committed to the RP, they're committed to the community and its rules. But like CT said, we can't monitor all of it. As much as I would love to be on the server 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I literally cannot. Most of us can't. Not all of us can like no life it. Um, it would be something that, given it sounds like the community is interested in trying eventually, but of course, like this, like we've been launched for a little over a month now, I believe. Yeah, a little over a month. So we still have time for this to be implemented. Um, Before we give a yay or a nay, um, I want to see and make sure that we can do this and people develop where that would come from, if that makes sense. Because there are going to be pet dogs and pets that you guys will have in server. And we want you guys to, you know, develop those stories. If you have a character that is supernatural in essence and they're going to kind of dive into this world, like let's say Mosi or Whisper, I can see where this would be beneficial because it would allow us to do that. And as Joan had mentioned, I feel like the people that we have in the server that have been RPing who are committed to the story can be responsible with it and are going to follow it along. But if it's so hard because I'm hesitated to say yes, but there is that just underlying concern of just disruption. There would be rules on what pets could be around, um, and where they could be. We don't want to see aggressive pets in cities. NPCs get jumpy and spooky, and that's when random people get shot. We already have a problem with horses literally being death machines right now. And as Jonah said, it's hard to predict the future. Right now, the community that we have, I would absolutely trust most of you, not Odin, most of you to be animal pets. I'm just kidding. But I also, you know, we might get people who don't follow that. And so, but it would be heavily monitored to the best of our capabilities. It would be, you know, evaluated. And yeah, the big concern of the metagaming, and I know that we have rules about metagaming, but it really does truly ruin a story when someone uses something like that to metagame to get the one up. And it is some fail RP when you do that shit. But the damage is already done. Like, yeah, we could slap someone with a warning or a ban or whatever. But at the end of the day, the story got disrupted. And that sucks. And I don't want to see someone's story get disrupted like that because I've had that happen so many times to my storylines. And it takes away that enjoyment of that character. So, as of right now, give me a second. I'm going to confer with CT. So, after conferring with the other owner, and he'll have something to say after I say this, we are going to do a trial period with it once that timeline of the 60 days has gone. We will only be allowing an X amount of people to do it, just like we have the rule of like there can only be so many kid characters, there can only be so many supernatural characters at one time. Same thing with the animal pet stuff. Only a certain amount will be available at a time. They are not going to be immortal. They are animals. And if you are a character who can transform into one of these animal pets, that doesn't make you immortal either. Not saying you have to perma, but you may not be able to do that ability after a certain time because you've been hurt too much or something. We'll figure out the RP line of thinking there. But we will do a trial period and I will let CT voice what he just told me.
This is definitely going to be one of those things that, from my eyes, this is going to be one person can and will ruin this for everyone because I am so against this that the second I see anybody fuck this whole thing up, it's going away because to me it's not worth the headaches. But we're gonna give it a shot. But I I'm just putting that out there now that it's not going to be uh, monitored on a individual basis. If it showed that the community as a whole, rather that's one person or everybody cannot do this, then it's something that's going to go away from the community. There's very, very few things that I feel that strongly about as far as any scripts, MLOs, any RP interactions that you may want to do. This is a hill that I am willing to die on as far as my seriousness if this goes. We're giving the chance. It will be super, super heavily monitored. We're going to come up with so many questions and scenarios and things that it's going to be exhausting. But um, the instant that it starts to go sour, it's gone. And it's not. That is one thing that I am not going to leave up for the debate.
Was the big community vote question. So after the community meeting, or Valerie, if you have the link to that script available, feel free to post it in the hanging out or in the discussion chat so people can look at it. I don't have it readily available. So that way they could at least take a look at it. I think there's a preview video of it if you guys want to look at it. So moving on. So the next soon to be purchased scripts are our police script, and I put a link here, but I'm not going to open them up because it'll lag out my computer because of our internet. But the police script that we want to get is a complete like bundle package. It has like the MDT, it has like identification and like evidence and all sorts of stuff, and we want to get it, but it's like $180, something like that. So that's kind of the reason why we've been waiting a little bit. It's just because it's a hefty cost. But that's the next one that we want to get. If you guys are interested in what that looks like, I can post it after the meeting. Live business blips. I'm actually super excited about this one because it allows business owners to change the color of their blips to show when they are open or closed. So on the map, if as long as a business owner sticks with it, they would be able to put that they are open. So it's just another way to communicate with the players that the business is available and that the people are in state. And then if they are away from their store, they can put their store as quote closed and put out hunting on the blip. So then that way people know, oh, well, the store owner is gone. Or if you have to take a leave of absence and you don't have any employees to run your store, you could put out of state. So that's something I want to get because I thought it was just kind of cool. And then lastly, we're wanting to start bringing in some more criminal activities. There is criminal activities in there. Guys just don't know about them yet because you have to find out about them. But we're slowly bringing up some of that stuff, especially in the St. Denis area. But we're gonna bring in train robberies, especially once trains are starting to be established. So I will also post that link as well, so you guys can take a look at that. So yeah. Showcase. So CT, are you ready to showcase kind of where we are going?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I have it pulled up here, so if you want to stop your stream, I'll start mine.
Okay. One little tidbit I will say is that this showcase is meant to explain to you guys, like, we plan on going to Strawberry and Blackwater next again, just to reiterate for those that weren't here in the beginning of the meeting. This is something that we are planning on getting, but we need community help to get these things. Otherwise, it's going to take a while. So I will go ahead and stop sharing, and I will let you get to it, CT.
Okay. So one of the things that I found and was looking at that I think would be really, really cool for the community is this. It's a series of 3 different sets of MLOs that transform Blackwater into basically a miniature Saint Denis, which is ultimately how I personally envision Blackwater being. So I'm going to kind of take you guys on a guided tour of what this looks like. You can see right off the bat here, we've got this like shipping station. This is where like goods can arrive for the city, and really kind of change that interaction, so that it feels a little more lively. Of course, you know, you've got the inside here. The original gist of this part is that, as you can see right over here, it's supposed to have part of a railway that's being developed. Um, I don't know if that's something that will ever actively happen, but the scripts are getting much more advanced all the time, so it's possible. But that's kind of what this is to signify, is that Blackwater is looking to expand the railway into this area eventually. So you can kind of see that. Then over here, got a very beautiful little park all around the city hall. A lot of places to sit, statues, trees, all that good stuff. Really makes it look nice and well taken care of. An active government building. So you've got your reception area here. And then this would be like the mayor of Blackwater. This would be like their office where they could, you know, take care of their official business and things like that. Over this way, got like a mini office kind of area. And then all of these, I believe, are just extra offices for more government business. Like if the Pinkertons end up coming down this direction eventually, you know, they could use one of these offices, because the way that we've kind of got the Pinkertons established is that they are key elements in protection of government officials. That was always kind of a really fun aspect that we had uh, in our previous server, and I think that that would be really nice to continue. So that would be something that they could do out of here as well. Could do court proceedings out of here. It's a little more organized than the one down in Armadillo. You know, you've got your, you know, your sides for your defendants and your plaintiffs, and then the spot where they come up, actually talk to the judge. There's a little stenographer spot, and then of course the places for bystanders to sit. You already know about the jail, the cells here. Nothing's really changed
I
here.
lived there. I spent so long in that office.
Same.
Yeah, it looks pretty amazing.
Mr. Baker, I miss being there with you.
I miss you too, brother.
I miss you, man.
Due to the fact this is a foreign server that I'm connecting to right now, some of the stuff isn't loading in quite right, but these doors are actually doors. The texture that's overlapping is just because the ping is atrocious right now. But this is like an actual meat shop, so
cute.
someone could actually run a legitimate, full-on butcher out of here.
Oh hell yeah!
That's awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, if you're seeing any textures that look odd, I assure you I have been through here a couple of times and it has loaded in properly. I think it's just because I'm got so many connections going to me at the moment that it's just not going to work quite right.
Yeah.
But
You're
the
being
Taylor
hampered.
is the same. Mm. Yeah, this is a little library, basically a bookstore.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's neat. You have like a keeper of lore in there.
Uh-huh. There's several different restaurants that have opened up down here. We've got this one,
Ooh.
and I'll kind of go upstairs here and show around. But as you can see,
Again.
there's fireplace, nice seating up top.
That's a big old pig on that table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right about that.
First of all, I have a name, okay?
Damn.
Just whatever you do, don't show the pig to
Easy there, Boris.
Kermit the Frog. He'll be pretty pissed off that you got Miss Piglet on the table.
Oh no.
Yeah, this one's kind of being a pain right now, but this looks like the.
It's hard to see what it is.
Yeah, it is.
No,
I
that's
think
the
it was.
granary, isn't it?
No, I think that's the actual furniture store.
J.W. Beard.
Yeah, I think that this was the.
Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
say I'm
Oh,
still
it's the lantern
laughing
shop.
over that the
Yeah, this is the
bookstore,
lantern shop.
the
Oh, wow.
bookstore
JW
being the
Beard's the
laundry
beard
shop.
shop.
Though. I'm still
Trust
laughing
us.
over that.
When we first saw it, it's like, wait, a fucking beard shop?
Beard shop?
I love beard.
Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. You can't shop in here. Why? You have to have a beard like mine to shop in here. But
Minimum
get the
beard
hell
height
out.
to be in the
You're all
store.
shaved.
That's another doctor's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Can I run a pot shop? I'd love to run a pot shop.
I don't know if back in that time pot existed.
Yeah, it did.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, it existed.
What are you talking
No,
about?
there is
wants to sell
medicine.
pots and pans.
I have seen like an actual medicine bottle. It listed opium, marijuana,
Arsenic.
chloroform,
This
Use
is the
cocaine
furniture
and it
as
was
store.
a cold. It was a cold medicine.
I mean, you sold cola. You're selling cola right now that makes you drunk off your ass. We're already taking cocaine.
basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I see
It's,
it. Partial.
yeah.
I could.
Yeah. All the staff can verify that it all does load in properly.
Yes.
Yes, and it
Yes, it
looks
does.
absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it
I'll
looks
just
incredible.
have to use my imagination. Good
William,
thing
I
I'm good
think
at-
you look absolutely wonderful.
Imagination.
Thank you. I needed that.
Really?
You're welcome.
Of course, I
cheating
got
on
your
me
back,
already?
man.
Fishing store.
Yeah, this is a fishing store.
Your poor internet.
Yeah, it's bad right now.
It's
The
drunk
shitternet.
hard.
I mean, for now, just showing us the places that we can enter. I think
Yeah,
is fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
that's the main
Oh,
thing that I'm trying to
yeah.
showcase. Just like how much this really opens up, and I haven't even been down the main drag yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see
I-
why
everything.
I mean,
capital.
CT, it's what, like 15, maybe. I don't know. Probably 15 is probably about right. Like 15 additional
like
places
that.
you can go in.
Ooh, what's this
Yeah.
place?
Office building.
Yeah, this is just a general office. It can be used for a lot of different things.
Ooh.
If I remember
way,
right,
I
this place has a lot of 2 floors or multiple like separate
Yes.
small offices.
Yeah. Yeah,
This
they're
is
yeah.
Oh,
this is the classic office building. Say you have a Lou needed a place to actually do his paperwork. He could have a place here.
Yeah.
Or
someone would have
Newspapers.
to own the building.
Factory.
Yeah.
Yep.
or
Yeah.
if
Newspaper.
somebody
Yeah,
wanted
that's
to
correct. A newspaper place. It would,
Mhm.
All these
Only there's a
different places are
newspaper
just
person.
awesome looking.
Yep.
They all look great.
It'd
They
be a
really
great
do.
place to have another
I could see that
newspaper delivery
furniture.
service.
Yes. I can
I'm
see that
so
furniture
excited,
shop
man.
being owned.
Shit.
by
Yep.
by a
God damn,
carpenter.
America.
Yeah.
Office area. Welcome to Joe Bornstein.
Little
Oh, look at
meeting
that
room.
little, yeah, you can have lunch in there.
Mm-hmm. Well,
The one thing I love
Oh,
about Blackwater is their barbershop looks amazing.
agreed.
Yeah, the
It really
barbershop looks
does.
really
I
great
think one.
Remo.
Yeah, there's a doctor's office. Oh man.
The
How
doctor's
nice
office is
steak.
awesome.
We're doing cocaine on the operating table, boys.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
why we need
I
more
was
doctors.
like, who the hell is barking right now?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to figure out. Is like someone's got a weird sounded dog.
Yep.
Like that dog's not well.
I was
This is a
whitelisted, okay?
Oh, this place is so cool though. I love
yeah,
how it's
Yeah.
all like real like small scale and oh man,
Yeah.
it's
The
nice.
one
Like
thing.
to an actual hospital, you could actually
yep.
have long-term stay
Yep.
here.
Yep. Do
Oh my
some
god,
that's
long-term
awesome.
care
RP.
RP here.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Saint
just
Denis.
imagine
Saint Denis also has
people
an amazing
learning.
hospital.
This
It
would be a
does.
great place for people to come and actually just like train as medical
As he's breaking
professionals as
shit
well.
already.
Yes.
Yep.
No, my
Exactly that.
arsonist.
HQ. This is the HQ. This is the main hospital.
Right? It would be great for that because like I've been in a server where nobody taught you shit. They just expected you to figure it out. Oh, is that someone running? Is there someone else in
Yep.
there?
Or
Ah!
Yeah.
There
or
is.
expect you just to know it. Like they just expect
Yeah.
Yep.
you off the rip to know what you're doing. But it's like, what if I
Isn't
want to
that
play the
bullshit?
guy fresh out of medical school? Like,
Is
come
that
on.
a?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh,
I hate
wow.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Actually, I would have to say from a gun store because I used to own a gun store on a server I played a long time ago. Annisburg, I think Annisburg has an amazing gun store. Saint Denis got one too.
People be
Annesburg is one
sleeping
that's
on
slept
Annenberg.
on just because it's out in well, middle of fuck
Yeah.
nowhere. Tailor
Cutler,
shop.
It's
Taylor
a
Cutler
shop.
shoe
Peddler.
store.
Yep.
No,
It's the
no, this
shoe
is.
Somebody
store.
can sell shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was
Yes.
the full tailor shop.
Yep.
Or
Yeah, it is
No,
upstairs.
this is
About
not.
oh no.
No,
I'm sad
it's
that
down farther.
I'm sad that Charles isn't here to see this shit.
Yeah,
Let
he'd
me
be gushing
attempt
on
to
this.
summon him.
Oh,
He
he's
might be
asleep.
sleeping though.
Yeah, he's not present.
He's not
Wake him
asleep.
up.
He's online right now.
Well, I mean that doesn't mean he's present. He's not mentally there. That's
No, it's 4 a.m. for him. The
The lights
dog's
are on, but
barking.
nobody's home.
That's basically what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah. We knew you once you've known him long enough, that's what you figure out.
It'll be more
Another
fun this way. You guys can
another
just tell
restaurant.
them about it.
Yep.
This is like little bakery area.
Ooh.
Damn it, I wish I was here.
like
Oh, you got fresh bread out on the cart. Like what? But no,
Mhm.
not the
like
cart at the table.
like seriously, we got a bakery. Like they don't have to be in the same building.
Was
Yep.
there an upstairs?
Not
that's
in
just
this
crazy?
one, I do not believe.
I'm just
No.
crazy. Okay.
This place is great for what's
It
her
was a
name? Shit.
stove. That's what I saw. Okay. Damn it. Trick of the light.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, like yeah, this one has like there's two shops that lead up to two upstairs apartments.
I believe
Yep.
this building is the architect.
Yep, architect
Yep.
and I
Yeah.
forget what the
Yeah.
other one is.
Lawyer or something? I don't remember.
No,
Oh,
Oh,
this
it's
is
the architect
bookstore.
in the library.
yeah, this is the book. Yeah, the bookstore.
Yeah.
Keeper of ancient law.
I think Blackwater's got a tobacco shops.
Yeah, somewhere down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll be supplying you soon.
Yeah, an
Yeah,
actual
it's
hotel.
The hotel. Yep.
yep, it's a wonderful set of scripts. Um,
Looks like
I'll
it.
say my piece afterwards.
Yeah, like there's, but I think this one had 3 floors of rooms basically.
Mhm.
I believe so, if I remember right.
Yeah, so like large, big ass hotel, and an
Oh yeah,
actual.
yeah.
The only way Miss Bell will tolerate spending time out in Blackwater or West Elizabeth in general.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
taking the luxury suite.
Y'all call it a hotel, but a nice loan and a couple of friends, and I'm gonna call it a brothel.
I mean,
We had that
I
I'm
mean,
conversation
the
as
only one
well.
thinking it. I just didn't want to say it.
I was gonna
We
say,
out.
we have seen that before. We've
Yeah.
seen-
us
Yep.
staff are joking about it.
I mean,
Call
it
it ding dongs.
screams it, right?
Who said we
There's
were
no
actually
way
joking?
not to.
Like we have seen it before, and we've
Oh,
actually seen
wow.
it where the
We
Well,
out here doing
Yeah.
top tier RP.
they actually get more money from when they're from non uh, escort RP than actual escort RP. Twice.
Hey,
Nice.
we out here
Uh,
doing that primo RP. I'm out here for it. Exactly. You know me so well.
we got another restaurant.
Man, there's gonna be
Cool.
some
I've always
serious
wanted
food
that to be
competition
open.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be like the rival families, all with their own takes on food. It's gonna, oh my god, it's gonna be like the White Glove Society in Fallout.
Yeah, we'll have like an
Man.
Italian restaurant,
Oh
like
Okay,
my god.
an
easy on the white
English,
glove. Easy on the.
Mexican.
Okay, now
Yes.
why would we
Bro,
eat
give me
English food? It's bland enough as it is.
You want to eat cactus, you come down to the painted stable.
You want to eat cactus? Come on
I know the
down.
perfect
I got a lot of
person.
cactus and a lot of
You
spices.
should just put that as a poster somewhere. Do you want to eat cactus?
I've got really good ways of preparing it. You don't know.
Whisper, you
That's
need to
big
put that
facts.
sign up in Saint Denis. What are you, cactus?
Dang, what's in
And
here?
he'll be there
Nothing.
so quick once he learns how to read.
I don't think they did anything with here.
Speaking of
Yeah.
learning how to read,
I have to go back to Saint
I'm
Denis for that. It's
teaching.
not happening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want, dog? I give you the best years of my life. Come here.
I made a character to be in Saint Denis now because Whisper doesn't want to go back.
Why are you
Oh,
wet?
what's this?
Pee somewhere?
Ooh, back alley.
This is what was this one again?
I honestly
My
don't
room,
remember.
I believe.
It's the
It's a
murder alley. What are you talking
building.
about?
It's the
Oh
bat.
no, it's
Oh yeah,
it's a
this was like
Oh,
the farmers
store.
market area.
Yeah, the general. Yeah, the upstairs.
That
farmer's
downstairs
market.
gives me murder vibes. What are you talking about?
It's
Oh,
also
I,
just
100%.
I could see someone owning a homestead and buying that place and laying out their produce. Like,
Yeah.
pharmacist.
Yeah.
that would be so sick.
Murder alley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Be a
all you need is
vampire,
invite
murder.
invite somebody back there. Be like, come on, little boy, I got some chocolate for you back here.
You didn't pay for your vegetables.
Nothing's changed in here.
Nope.
Still classic, still the best.
Yep. And then we got other.
Jesus, another restaurant.
This one's
What
gonna be
I'm
more like a
saying-
bar. It looks more run down, so it's got kind of like that Doyle's Tavern kind of vibe to it.
Oh, I love
Mhm.
that.
Uh-huh. It's
I
not
love that.
all so high class. You can still have a little bit of a rough in thing going on here, and it fits.
Blackwater's just better than everywhere else.
I
I
agree.
love Blackwater so much.
I will still forever love the desert. I'm sorry.
New Austin's great. I'm so happy that I have Ben and I can actually spend time out there.
Yes.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, that is one that
Yep.
I'm happy we actually have some
Little casino.
stuff going down there.
I am staying in New Austin.
And unfortunately, one of your friends is probably never going to step foot in New Austin again.
Well, I mean, you'll have to bribe me to get me out of there.
Rip.
Hey, Whisper,
What?
have you ever heard about the frozen cactuses in Amberino?
I am never going into the snowy places.
Oh no.
You say that, yet you were up there just a few days ago.
That wasn't of her own volition. She didn't know where she was going when she did that. She
As
regrets
someone
it.
who lives in a snowy place, I refuse to go up to Amberino because I'm avoiding the snow.
Carpenter shop.
Yep, carpenter shop.
I think this is actually a tool shop, or is it the actual
No,
carpenter?
this is just a wood shop. It's
Oh yeah.
necessarily carpentry or
Actually, if
Where's
you go out,
Jerry
if
Eagle
you
when
if
you're
you go out
selling
the
this off?
doors and head to the left for the blacksmith, I've seen a script where the blacksmith shop is an actual blacksmith. You can actually go inside.
Just wait.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that this
Nope.
one.
No,
Nope.
But it's farther down here. Yeah.
Oh, that wood shop's open. Hell yeah.
Salt
Yes,
and
so-
Seed.
Mm-hmm.
the seed store.
Yep.
The Salt and Seed
The
store.
seed store.
Salty seed. What are you talking about?
We got the salty nuts.
There's a little tobacco shop.
Y'all got to calm down. This is a Christian server.
No, it's not.
Since
Oh
when?
fucking shit!
I think
I
the
mean,
moment
I
you
saw
bring that
some
up is
Jesus
when we
coyotes
talked about
earlier
the
today. They were
brothel.
standing on top of the water.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Did somebody say nuts?
Honestly, if anything, this is
Jesus.
a pagan
And you
server.
got the lumber mill right there. We can craft stuff to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah,
another good
Oh,
spot
this
for a
building doesn't
logging
open.
company or
No.
carpenter.
Thickwood Carpentry was there. I had some with them.
Yes. But yeah,
The minute that
there's
building opens up behind the lumber shop, that's Thickwood
Mm-hmm.
Carpentry right there.
There's another?
Oh, wait,
Yes,
there's more.
there is. There is.
Where's the other place?
I just tried transportation to there because they don't have the frickin' teleporter working.
Fair.
strawberry.
And I have to hoof it.
Summon thy steed.
Yeah.
$450.
Yeah, there's three different parts. I think it is 400 because there was 150, another one that was 150, and then one that was
Yeah.
2. No.
That'd be 500. 150, 150, 200.
Yeah.
But
Point is,
Do
I
you
still
not
have the
have
link
a
yeah,
to
horse?
No, this is a
This is
test
a
server.
test server.
It's a full
Oh,
It
game.
might be
wrangle
a
a
test
horse.
server, but a horse is still better than running.
Find a wild horse,
He's
wrangle
gonna
it
find a
down.
horse first.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
No.
I like watching him run. What are you talking about?
Yeah, let us watch him run.
Pleasing to the soul.
just keep
boy,
running,
run.
running,
Look,
running. What do
look,
we
Cardio
run?
in, man.
You guys are sadists.
Tobias, we
Oh
need
my God.
6 bottles of beer.
My God,
I'm
now,
just imagining
now
instead of
that
that,
you,
run,
now that
boy,
you guys got
run.
me saying it, I'm
This
thinking
world is not meant for
of an
you.
old
Run.
Fifle goes west. All I'm hearing is running, running, running,
faith
run. Head him up to the mountain. That's
Alright,
all I'm
Faith.
hearing right now. Fifle goes west.
Alright, what were you saying, Faith?
All right, let Faith speak.
Run, boy, run! Sorry.
Oh, well, yeah, get him, get him.
Get him.
Yeah, bite his ass.
Oh God.
Bite his ass. Bite his salty nuts. Get his salty nuts. Bite him,
Go,
Wolf.
Bite him back.
go,
Bite
go,
him back.
go,
I'm
go.
interrupting Faith. Everybody shut up.
Oh, I can do the teacher thing. I could just sit.
I mean,
Uh,
we
uh,
sure what Faith is saying is important, but wolf knife fight.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck that wolf.
So the other thing is, I'll post those things so you guys can see that. So far we've already had a couple people donate towards it. Mostly staff members because they got kind of the first showcase. Because we wanted to save this for the community meeting. So we have a little bit of money already raised. I have no problem paying for it. It's just going to take a while if I have to pay out of pocket. So this is one of those few times that we put it out there for the community that, hey, this is something that we want to get for the community. If you're able to help, Lignis said, the Matthew is like, $10 is, that bumps it up. Or even just like $2. Like whatever you guys can do to help is awesome.
Give me a link.
Okay, well, it's,
Yeah,
in, it's in the
if
finances.
everyone chips in $5, if everyone chips in $5, it adds up real quick.
Yeah.
I
So-
just have to
So
wait
I went
for
ahead
my
and
next
dropped
paycheck.
50 on it.
Yeah. So in the finances section in the Discord, it has a link to the Patreon, which is only subscriptions. So if you do pay through Patreon, awesome. But then remember to cancel your subscription if you don't intend on keeping it before the first of the month. Otherwise, you will get charged. And then there's the link to the PayPal if you want to donate towards the PayPal. And the PayPal, oh, there you go.
A steed.
When he's almost
It's
out
already
of town.
there, right?
The
Naturally.
Grand Theft Equine.
the I don't remember what I was gonna say. But yeah.
It's about the PayPal and Patreon and all that.
Yeah. And all of that goes directly into the PayPal account for Fireside. It's not linked to any of my banking information. It literally is all we use to pay for server rent and anything on Tebix and stuff. So this is Strawberry Reborn, which opens
I
up.
haven't got to show anybody this yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet
and
either.
It's gonna load real slow right
I
now.
wonder if I stop watching
we
if
just
that
got
might help
avoid
you
of a
too.
building.
But this house is actually enterable and usable now, instead of just the one door to staircase that
Excellent.
leads to.
Staircase of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the new Doctor script looks like once you get it in.
I'm excited for this policing script.
Oh
God,
my
I'm just
God! You
happy
went
to
up
be
the
able to use
stairs.
syringes eventually.
Yep.
I mean, the policing one you're holding off
Yep,
on, or is
all
it
the
the
way up the stairs.
medical one?
I'm blown away. I've
I'm
never seen that.
That we are needing to purchase is the police one. The one that I am working on right now and bringing in is the doctor. We already own that one.
And you said the doctor what is 180?
The doctor one's already been purchased. The police one I think is 180. I need to go back and check. I just don't want to open up my
Then
spreadsheet and
Blackwater's
it murder CT's stream.
Yeah, Blackwater's like 400 somewhere in there.
I
In
refuse to
total.
pay for law enforcement. Get bent.
Yeah, that's changed.
What a lovely little shop.
Mm-hmm.
I did good business with the owners of this building.
Alright, nice little house.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of my goals for this server. Actually have a home.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You can stay at
That's
our
Then
kinda
again,
place,
I'm
buddy.
one to talk.
Look, I'm playing a hobo and I've got a home. I didn't buy it, but it's mine.
I didn't buy it, but it's mine. Nobody can have it.
Anyone shows up trying to take it, I'm gonna just shoot them.
That sounds about
I
right.
can see the trial. I can see Olu's trial for squatters' rights now.
right.
Faith, can we
Right,
adjust
sir.
the
I was
horse
squatting.
theft law to be titled as Grand Theft Equine? Oh.
Oh,
It
God.
wasn't that funny of a joke.
It sounds better than horse theft.
Hey, Faith, I just sent you a donation I think you'll like.
How much did you send?
$100.
Throw it in the
All of it.
pot.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
Right.
Throw it in the pot.
Yeah.
Run. I'm just applauding.
You really want some of
Round
these
of applause, right?
scripts?
No, I'm just helping. I just want a special wagon that has that has my company on it. No, it'll help that's help towards the police script.
Yeah, I'm just sending $100 so I can in-game have a homing missile launcher. I think it's only fair.
Oh my god! I
Additional
know that
ammo
person!
Abrams.
No.
I volunteer
Should
to
have.
tribute.
We should have big events like that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
For
I
science.
remember that.
Oh god.
We could just have
Those-
a manhunt day where like one person at random gets the wagon and everyone else has to survive.
I offer the doctor as tribute.
I also offer the doctor's tribute.
Sorry, tribute.
Cocaine.
Tribute is not accepted. We need the doctor alive.
I was like, who's gonna help the
Well,
doctor?
Who else is gonna? If
Whisper
the
can bring
doctor
him
goes
alive.
down, everybody's down.
Yeah, Whisper can fix him.
I'm
I
staff.
volunteer Olu for tribute.
Hey.
Don't do that. He can't die.
Hey. So does the volunteer
anger the
get to
spirit.
use the Gatling gun to shoot down the others coming for
Nope.
him?
Here's the thing.
No,
if
the
you want
volunteer
me as
gets
tribute,
shot.
then I demand the doctor be able to shoot. Because I know he'll put me down clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want like a Todd
All right,
Zombies
Doc.
type event.
Start at the ankles and work your way up.
Damn.
I'm so concerned.
Sounds like my Friday night. Jesus.
God damn it, Doc! I told you I ain't a good dancer.
Law enforcement. I am very concerned.
Yo, wait.
No,
Are we
no,
just
we're
gonna
doing all
pass
this in
over?
Ireland.
Are we just gonna pass over what was just said?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
What was just said? There was
Somebody
too
said
much.
it sounds like a regular Friday night. Bruh,
That
what are
was
you
the one that
doing?
you had an issue with. Not start at the feet and work your way up or something.
What?
Fun times.
You've missed a lot, bro. As the person who pestered you to join this server, you've missed a lot.
No, the reason I'm gonna help is because I've been a part of a lot of communities that just have thought they were gonna go places and then just shut down on us.
Something special about this place.
Yep.
We're a community, not a server.
I mean, all of us here right now is kind of proof of that, because this is the first server I've ever been in where anybody even wanted to hang out like this, like on any level.
We just yell random crap.
Right?
Yep.
That was so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Faith, can I suggest the next movie for movie night?
No.
Blazing Saddles.
No.
We already did that one.
Yeah.
What
Can we do it
101
again for the
Ways to
people
Die
who
in
weren't
the
here?
West?
Yeah, all my friends were not here for that. I'm sorry. They
I
didn't
don't know
how much
how.
fun we were gonna hear, and I couldn't convince them.
I don't know how, but Whisper somehow, while we were subscribing, deleted herself from it and rejoined, as you saw, Shadrith, and is also a Glucose Guardian simultaneously. I don't know what she did, but she broke the world. That's fucking hilarious.
I can
Faith
fix her.
broke the universe.
Now,
we broke the universe.
now,
Yeah.
on the if you need someone to talk to, I volunteer myself as an emotional support idiot.
Can I be an emotional support idiot too? I like listening to people.
I can't promise I'll be
I've
an emotional
got
support
terrible
idiot,
news
but
for all of you. You are all social support idiots.
I don't know
feel
about the
like-
social
I said
support
social.
part, but I think I'm just an idiot. I don't
No,
know.
no, you're all
I'm
wrong.
less a social support idiot, and I'm more a void into yell into that yells back affirmations every once in a while.
Never forget, y'all. I'm the executive mama bear. It is there on in my titles. It is there.
I'm the head executive bitcher, so I'll just bitch at whatever you are upset about.
If
Alrighty.
You can
you ever
always
need,
count on
uh,
you. I'm there for you.
if you ever need a
Okay.
punching bag, my face is available to just beat the shit out of.
No. As someone who has used your face as a punching bag.
You ever need a target, you can just shoot me. Sorry.
Yeah. I was just looking to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I didn't. We've been through all the
Yep.
buildings, but
I'm
it's
about to
mostly
say,
just
I
like
don't think the.
home stuff. There's a couple of business things, but it kind
Yep.
of makes Strawberry a livable place instead of
Strawberry,
just
yeah.
a spot to ride through, basically.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
love
So-
that.
Yeah.
It's always bothered me that most of those buildings just are artificial.
Just
Mm-hmm.
there.
Strawberry
Yeah.
is truly my
Strawberry
favorite
has
town.
always been my favorite town.
Yeah. So
It's
I
peaceful.
personally want to see more life there, and especially I want people to be able to have a home in there, because it's just a really pretty spot, and those buildings should be used. So I love seeing those houses in here, and like the hotel would be a great business.
I'm sorry, I just have to ask, who said it
Uh-huh.
was peaceful? Because the last time I was there, every 2 minutes, 5 wolves got brought into town by a local running from them.
I mean, that's pretty peaceful.
That's not peaceful.
Compared to the supernatural crap going on.
Yeah,
Hey, if
that
the
happened
local
during the
wants to bring
supernatural
in,
crap.
yeah, if the local wants to bring in wolves, hey, that's free money for me because I'll just shoot the wolves and skin them.
I'm just like, oh
Basically.
man, hey, we need to keep on lookout for anything. Okay,
Yeah,
now that they're
that
done,
was
we need
funny.
to keep a lookout for anything. Okay, more.
It was really great.
Speaking of,
Honest to God.
Lou, you need to answer your damn mail. I have that anxiety of, oh my god, what do you want to talk about?
Oh,
I was
Like
trying
I love
to find you.
I love Annisburg because I'll be in Annisburg just like selling stuff and I'll hear like the locals screaming like, what are they screaming about? One local's like running and here comes the Myth Killer Kitty right behind them. I'm like, oh, that's where they're running from.
All right.
What are they screaming
So
about today?
we're gonna get back
I'm
to
all
it
done.
because we're pretty much done. We're at the Q&A part. Let's see here, Lignus. If you want to tell Whisper she can hop back in, she should be able to now that she is back to being whitelisted.
She's giving it a minute. She's
Yeah.
fixing some stuff.
Also, if you do join the Patreon or if you do donate to the server, you get the role called Glucose Guardian because it's a gender neutral term for sugar daddy or sugar mama, to show that you supported us. So, ta-da! So anyways, we're going to kind of go over the Q&A now. So stay muted just for a little bit longer. If I address your question and you have like a follow-up to add or anything like that, please feel free to unmute. And then once we're done with that, then we can get into the RP and or hanging out or whatever y'all want to do. So first question is, will restaurant/saloon owners be able to do their own butchering? Yes, because the way the butcher script is going to work is that you will be able to take the meat to this processing area and you would break down, like, let's say you got pork meat, well then you'd be able to break it down into like sausages and ground pork and bacon and ham, So you would be able to break it down depending on what other ingredients you have. Like sausage, obviously you would pack it with seasonings and stuff, and things like that. So restaurant saloon owners will be able to be a little bit more hands-on in the preparation of their recipes, and not just like, oh, I have this, I magically now have this. Um, so there's that. Next question is, will supernatural characters who move on be encouraged to delete the character with some of these potential scripts? So one of the Go ahead.
Alrighty. The thing with the supernatural is we do want it to, because we have it limited to only 4. We do try to have like four supernatural or 4 hunters at any one point in time. We try to want to have rotation. So if you move on, like if you flee the state, you don't necessarily have to delete the character. Now, one of the things with supernatural that I will be pushing for, because we would have those hunters looking for you, is if you die, that is the one that, yes, the kind of the whole forced perma, that might be the only time that will come into play. At which point, yes, I'm sorry, your character is dead. But if you just move them on, and you want to get back on them, you can get back in the rotation and possibly bring them back around again. As the what is it? Basically, as the heat on that character has died down, hopefully, and that would also work. Apply for hunters as well.
Which he's bringing up hunters, and that's something that's in the supernatural whitelist, but we haven't again released that information out to people just yet until the 60 days of the server being up. So there's that. The next question is, when the new hunting script turn people away from hunting then? No. So it's not really a new hunting script per se. Basically what would happen is, like right now, if you go hunting, and you skin it, the animal despawns, and we like having it despawn just because it removes a lot of strain on the server. But basically, you would be able to skin the animal. You would get some bits and pieces as well as a pelt. You would then be able to go to the butcher, and you could, sell those items to the butcher just for a flat fee. Or you could take the carcass and the whole animal to the butcher to sell as well, kind of like in most servers where you take the body, you sell it, you get items and or money. If anything, it would encourage people to hunt, because we're going to have a script coming in relatively soon, for animal carcass storing in wagons. So you'd be able to put, like, let's say 14 carcasses or animal bodies in a wagon. Yeah, on your horse, you can only have 1 on the back and then 2 on each side. But that makes sense. It's a horse. You're not going to load it up with 15 animals. But if you have a hunting wagon that could hold 15 animals, then it can make your hunting trips a little bit more, prosperous. But it wouldn't deter people away from hunting. It's just going to make it a little bit more manageable. The thing that we're trying to pull away from is the current butcher selling menu. So whenever you go to the butcher to sell, it is a very frustrating menu because it doesn't isolate your inventory. It just says, here is everything we buy, and you have to have a very good knowledge of what is actually in your inventory, which could be very frustrating. So we had already condensed the list down a lot from what it originally was, and it still just isn't where we want it to be. And so CT and I had talked about it, and I was like, I think I'm going to move us back to what we originally wanted to do, or what we originally used to do, and then just kind of fine tune it and really emphasize kind of like the hide tanning and the pelt traders and things like that. Let's see here. Any other questions? Nelly asks, people who will be able to log in as animals, could it be locked to just one animal, or do they have access to all and be able to constantly change animal? It would be locked to a certain animal, or like 1 or 2. So they wouldn't just have access to the full menu, just like they won't have access to the human peds either. You will not be able to use that. That is plain and simple. Just because you don't need to. You don't need to have access to those things. So whenever you apply for the special animal ped whitelist thing, there will be a section that will have a list of available approved peds, and you will have to select from that list of probably up to 3 of the peds that you want to utilize in conjunction with that character. If you plan on playing an animal ped that's like a just a dog, like you're not like a supernatural or anything like that, you will make a character with the name of that dog or that cat or whatever, and that is all you will ever be on that. That will never be a human character. If we see that, it will be deleted. And then that'll be the end of the script. 16 plus characters. So Cletus, one of the things that we do allow, it is a special whitelist circumstance, much like the supernatural, where you could play a character that is 16 years old, 17 years old, or 18 years old. There's specific rules that come with that, and we only allow it after 60 days. And there's certain rules of engagement that they can do as well as not do. But there's no using of like the little kid peds or anything like that. That's more of like a staff or like a weaver thing that we would do for like a plot line or like an event. Yeah. And then Valerie posted the ped menu thing. Nelly asked, question about the live blips. Can only owners change or change open close blips, or can workers do it too? I believe anyone with the job. I'll have to dive in more because unfortunately you can't really look at the scripts, like the coding. I'm assuming anyone with the job can, but we can always take a look and see. And then we had a question in the subscriptions thing, which I gotta pull this up. I can get it to open. So law horse bonuses. Some horses are ridiculously quick, and I personally have a hard time keeping up. Would there be an option for law horses to get a small speed bonus when on duty? There's no way to honestly do that. If I knew how to make that work in that script, I would. But there's no like, oh, if this is a law horse and you are specifically on duty, then that horse magically is faster. You just might have to get a work horse whenever you are on duty that is a fast horse. We will have horseshoes in that you'll be able to get done on your horse. There's also going to be horse stimulants, things like that. It's just part of making the right selection for your service horse, just like your service weapons and things like that. Also, totally off tangent here, but definitely keep your guys' tickets open. We'll close them. Don't worry about it. Trust me, I'm chronically closing tickets, so leave them open because then I won't forget that they're there. Let's see. I've lost the discussion channel. So far that's all the questions. Are there any other questions that people have?
Doesn't seem that way.
Cool.
Who are you getting on tonight?
So again, I want to thank you guys for being here. This was a long meeting. It actually wasn't as long as I thought it was gonna be. I kept it underneath the 2-hour mark. Yeah. But again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening to me ramble. And then of course, I will have all that information posted for you guys for the Blackwater Reborn and Strawberry Reborn, as well as the scripts that we're looking at purchasing soon. And again, once we hit that 60-day mark, that's when we'll start kind of that trial period with the animal peds. That's when we'll open up the application for it. and we will go from there and see how well we can do with that as a community and see if it enriches the stories or hinders them. But I look forward to seeing you guys in state.